Contrarians, welcome back to the Encrypted Capital Recap for Monday, October 24th. First off, wanted to throw something at you guys. I'm going to go out on a limb here and make a little bit of a prediction. As I was analyzing the Moderna chart the other day, and I paired it up with Bitcoin just to kind of see their correlation. And obviously, we know that equities have been, or I should say Bitcoin has been following equities and just crypto in general. But what I'm thinking here is that since we're looking at maybe a rise in cases for all these diseases floating around here going into winter, wouldn't surprise me if we start seeing a move up in Pfizer and Moderna because of this. And I would have to think that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies would probably respond in a similar way as this chart shows. So Moderna's in orange. We got Bitcoin here, obviously on the teal and purple here. And so if you look at those, you can kind of see the correlation that we're looking at. And so what I'm thinking here is that we are very close to a bottom for Bitcoin, if not at a bottom. Same thing with Pfizer and Moderna. That is also at a level of support, in my opinion. And so I would be looking at both of these assets to start moving to the upside here over the course of the next 3 months. So that is my prediction given what I'm looking at here. It kind of makes logical sense to me that we are close to a bottom. So we'll see if I'm right. I'll stick my neck out on this one. And let's move on to the charts here. We also got XRP. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Just kind of moving sideways for a minute. It does look like we're about to take a move to the upside, though. It wouldn't surprise me if we start getting up into like the 70 to 80 cents region. Let's also take a look at some other top movers here. We're looking at Dragon Chain, Viacoin, DENT. Dragon's up like almost 20%, DENT 3.5, but it's so cheap that you're going to have some pretty crazy moves percentage-wise because of just how cheap and how little liquidity it takes to actually move that particular asset. Otherwise, not too much else going on. Relatively flat here. Bitcoin is trading at, I think, what was it, 19K or so, 19.2. So also, again, like we said, looking to hopefully be forming a bottom here. I wouldn't look at it taking out 17.7 unless we do a super quick move to the downside to scoop up this liquidity, probably sitting somewhere between 16 and 17K. In my opinion, that should be the finishing move if we even have that come to fruition. Otherwise, I am looking at 17.7 holding unless, like I said, it's just a quick wick to the downside to scoop up liquidity and then blast off, hopefully at least get this retrace come in here. Dive into the news real quick. We got small Bitcoin investors stop whales from crashing. BTC price below 18K. Cointelegraph, you need to get your head out of your ass. Small Bitcoin investors do nothing to move the price at all. You're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars that move these markets, not thousands of traders that have a few $100 in the trading account here. I don't know why they say stuff like this. It makes absolutely zero sense. It said Bitcoin prices avoided a bigger plunge below 18K in recent months, raising expectations that a market bottom is forming. It says an army of small Bitcoin investors has been fighting with their large counterparts for months to keep the price above 18K. That's absolute bullshit. You need large orders, not these little meaningless $500 to $1,000 orders. There's no way. I mean, any big whale will come up and squash any retail investor, which is why these markets move the way they do. It's not just because a bunch of retail investors combined have a few $1,000,000. I mean, one whale can squash any of those orders at any given point in time, which is why you have the volatility that we do. It's only when they decide to release something on the mainstream channels that will allow large retail investors and large groups of retail investors to buy what it is they are selling. Okay, that's how these markets work. I've been doing this for over a decade. It has nothing to do with an army of small Bitcoin investors. Any army will get squashed by any one whale, not to mention multiple whales. Absolute bullshit, Cointelegraph. You need to do a better job here. That's a bullshit article. Going on here, we got Fidelity discusses Bitcoin as portfolio insurance could soon stand in stark contrast to path fiat currencies take. So Fidelity As we know, Fidelity, large institutions in general, have been in the game for quite a while. Interesting, they're coming out and talking about Bitcoin being insurance. It says that Bitcoin could be considered portfolio insurance. The firm notes that the cryptocurrency may soon stand, yeah, I just read that, namely in the path of increased supply, additional currency creation, and central bank balance sheet expansion. Yes, absolutely. I also noticed too, aside from just Fidelity, we had Bank of America coming out with some news, which I'm going to get into next. But it says comparatively, Bitcoin remains one of the few assets that does not correspond to another person's liability, has no counterparty risk, and has a supply schedule that cannot be changed. Yeah, kind of. It still is prone to large whales and institutions whipsawing the price at will and scooping up cheap Bitcoins. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if the top 20, top 30 wallets own how much of a percentage of Bitcoin? Not to mention you got the Winklevoss twins, the Sailors, the Musks, and all those guys combined probably make up to at least 10% of all the Bitcoin in existence. So if those buddy old pals want to get together and maneuver the price whichever way they desire, that can definitely happen. And those little army of retail traders will get squashed like the peasants they are. Okay, that's how this works. So let's go. Bitcoin, Bank of America. Bitcoin's changing correlations may mean it's becoming a haven again, Bank of America says. So 1 week, Bank of America says, or Goldman Sachs says that it's going to crash further. Then Bank of America comes out and says that it could be a haven again. Who knows exactly what's going to take place here? Like I said, I have my opinions on where things are going to start moving, but it says Bitcoin's movements in relation to other assets may indicate that investors see it becoming a haven again after a stretch where it's traded basically as a risk asset, according to Bank of America Corp. Yeah, this is a risk asset, but if you're in it for long enough, you can get crazy gains even if you end up buying the top. Now, I don't know how long that's going to last for, if Bitcoin's going to stick around and stay the leader, or if it's going to become the AOL of crypto, okay? There is better technology out there. They'll keep Bitcoin propped up as long as they want until they have done whatever it is they want to do with it. So whether they decide to keep investing in it or leave it by the wayside for another currency, that has yet to be seen. But it says the largest crypto has a 40-day correlation with gold of about 0.5, up from around 0 in August, while the correlations are higher with the S&P at 0.69 and the NASDAQ. So yeah, but these things have been running in tandem. So, Bank of America, cool. Yeah, it may become a haven again. I do think that it should be, as mentioned in other videos, part of an all-weather portfolio. So you want to be in multiple assets, not just crypto assets, have some stocks, equities, maybe some real estate, some other things that are generating cash flow on the regular so you can take advantage of any dips. Now, let's get into Japan. We talked about CBDCs and how they wouldn't be regulating crypto if they were going to do away with it. And this just proves my point again. Japan's international payment system will test plastic cards for CBDCs. This is massive. Do you guys see what's taking place here? Central bank digital currencies are here to stay. Now, when they start announcing things and floating things out to the public, 99% of the time, this has already been done, okay? They're just now telling you about it. This is the route they've already decided to go many, many years ago, if not decades ago, as we've seen with the patents and the likes of David Schwartz, where he talked about basically describing Bitcoin in one of his patents in 1987, 88, I can't remember. You can look it up on Google, David Schwartz Enterprises patents. It'll come up there and you can see that he's describing a plurality network of computers that basically describe Bitcoin. So, what else do we got here? Crypto-friendly Rishi Sunak is to become UK Prime Minister following Truss exit. During his time as finance minister, Sunak unveiled plans to turn the country into an international hub for crypto. In my opinion, our opinion, crypto has been the game plan all along. You're able to track, trace, and control everything on the blockchain. It is irreversible. Now, you start thinking about what they can do when that happens. Can they shut off wallets, shut down on and off ramps, exits, exchanges, you name it. Any sort of crypto moving to your bank account, can they cancel it out? I have no idea. Probably, most likely. That would make sense to me. So, is crypto going away anytime soon? No, probably not. Do I want to ride the coattails and become super wealthy? Absolutely. So that's my 2 cents on where I think this stuff is going. I think it's been the plan all along. I think that it could be a Trojan horse, and maybe not everything is what it seemed initially as some sort of revolutionary technology that was going to free people. We could be contributing to our own enslavement if you want to go that route. I can't say with 100% certainty, but the more and more I see with central bank digital currencies, the more and more I think that's the case. So I don't want to be the one in holding dirty dollars, dirty fiat, if crypto is going to be what helps keep me and my family in the upper tier of society. So what else is here? We got Bitcoin struggles to retain 19K. This trader, Mikkel Mork, that's an interesting name, Mikkel Mork. He was kind of talking about what I was talking about regarding 20K holding. I'll play a quick clip here. We'll see how long I can take this guy. Let's go.
And that price action just remains so stagnant. So from our side, we believe that we do need to see a break above around 20,500 and hold it for some kind of positive momentum to return. But as we know, long consolidation periods usually lead to more significant moves. And if I do make a comment on what you just said, so before we started the interview, judging from today's price action, the move may be to the downside. What's also interesting is that the volatility, if we talk Bitcoin, is now matching that of S&P 500 and Nasdaq. So it's the big question, of course, is the bottom in or not? So the June low of 17,600, because we have been posting higher lows. So that may suggest that the 17,600 could have been the bottom. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I've been saying that for I don't know how long now. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition here, but maybe having some buy orders set, in the 16Ks for that quick liquidity scoop, which is how I would play the market if I was a whale. I would push the prices low and wipe out everybody's stop losses and scoop up all that free Bitcoin, free liquidity, scoop up all the fear, and then rocket it to the upside, right? That's how I play these markets. But again, this could be just a level of support, and we may not even get that. I think we may have already seen that, as a lot of people thought 20K would hold, and it dropped lower into 17.7 to scoop up that liquidity. That remains to be seen, but I do anticipate some sort of retrace coming back, because that would be very out of the ordinary if we did not get a retrace to the upside, at least to hit 40, 50K, somewhere in that range. So I think with that being said, that will do it for this edition of the Encrypted Capital Recap. If you guys like what you heard, please drop us a like, comment, and subscribe. Catch you all in the next video.